All right, so let's find our comfortable seat, adding a blanket or a pillow underneath our hips to help the pelvis tilt forward so it's easier for us to sit up tall. And I'm going to take my glasses off to do this. So we'll begin rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. Bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or gazing softly downward. Extend the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lift your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibration. Take another deep breath in. Oh. 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 Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness to the breath. Allow your inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. Take one more full, complete breath. When you reach the end of your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body, remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Bring your awareness to your right hand, allowing the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together, and bring those fingertips to your heart center, turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart, looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. And if you'd like to change positions or switch your legs, please go ahead and do that. With your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. And as you exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down. Tuck the shoulder blades back and down. Lift the heart, strengthening the muscles around the scapula, holding it in place. Then let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart a little more, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any tension. And opening the arms wide, turning the palms up. Lift the heart a little more if that feels okay. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, gently squeezing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. And if it feels okay, flexing the wrists, pressing through the palms. Breathe into the heart. Allow the neck to be nice and long. Let's bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back or left hand around the right wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe into the upper back. Gently squeezing the arms together or pushing the elbows away. As it feels okay, you can gently begin to lower and lift the elbows with the breath, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with your next inhaling breath, lift the elbows up a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, gently round, dropping the chin, letting the weight of the arms open the upper back a little more. And with your next inhale, let's lift up tall. We'll release the hands, but bring the left hand to the right shoulder. Right arm extends out. We'll gently draw that arm across the body. Spreading the fingers wide, softening through the shoulder blade. If it feels okay, you could turn your chin over your right shoulder. And coming back to the center with the chin, let's bring the hand to the elbow, and we'll bring the arm over or up over our head and gently drop that right hand, sort of pat on the back, if that feels okay. Pressing up through that left elbow, we'll gently pull the elbow, right elbow, gently pull the elbow toward the head or behind the head, whatever feels okay for you. And then we'll release, opening those arms wide again, turning the palms up, pressing through the palms if that feels okay. And coming back to the front, crossing the left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back or right hand around the left wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing into the upper back, squeezing the arms together or pushing the elbows away. As it feels okay, you can lower and lift the elbows, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with your next inhaling breath, if it feels okay, lift the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round the spine, dropping the chin, letting the weight of the arms stretch the upper back a little more. And then with your next inhale, coming back to center, We'll release the hands, bringing the right hand to the left shoulder, left arm across the body, and then you can pull onto that upper arm, just helping to stretch the arm across in front. Fingers are spread wide, and if it feels okay for your neck, you can turn your chin over the left shoulder. And bringing the head back to the center, we'll slide the hands to the left elbow, bringing the left arm up over the head, dropping the hand to gently pat on the back if that feels okay. Lifting up through that left elbow, can stay here, or if it feels okay, gently pull the elbow toward the head or behind the head. And then we'll gently release. Let's make some circles with our wrists. And reverse those. And we'll bring the hands to the heart. Interlacing the fingers, we'll press the palms out in front. Roll the shoulders forward, drop the chin, round the spine. With your next inhaling breath, lift the palms up over the head, gently arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time, keeping the arms up as you exhale, drop the chin down. Soften the elbows and roll the shoulder blades back toward each other, gently squeezing the upper corners of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any stress or tension in the trapezius muscles. Soften the jaw. Release the back of the neck a little more if that feels okay. And if it's okay for your elbows and shoulders, you can press the palms up toward the sky. With your next inhale, lift the chin. And as you exhale, let's gently twist toward the right, floating the hands down, left hand on the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Lift the heart. Exhale, gently twisting. Hold and breathe. Lengthening through the spine with the inhale, twisting with each exhale. Keeping the left hand on the knee with your next inhale, sweep the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body, dropping that right hip down, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. Chin is gently away from the chest. If it feels okay, you could bring your vision up toward the sky. Breathing into the right side of the body, creating space, opening up the energy. And with your next inhale, lifting up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. We'll take a breath in and out. Interlacing the fingers, we'll inhale our arms up over the head. Exhale, gently twist to the left, floating the hands down, right hand to the knee, left hand behind the hip. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, gently twisting toward the left. Lifting with each inhale, twisting gently with each exhale. Finding that edge between flexibility and inflexibility. Keeping the right hand on the knee. With your next inhale, sweep the left arm up by your ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body, dropping the left hip to the mat, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. Chin is gently away from the chest. Breathing into the left side of the body. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. And we'll take a breath in and out. Let's extend our legs out in front of us. And let's cross the left ankle over the right thigh. We'll bring the palm of the left hand to the sole of the right foot, interlacing the fingers and toes. Let's make some gentle circles with the ankle, stretching the foot as far as it can go in each direction. Releasing the ankle muscles and trying to let the hand do the work. And we'll reverse those circles. And we'll unlace the fingers and toes, and we'll wrap the fingers underneath the outside of the foot. Right hand comes underneath the right ankle. Spine lifts up tall. Take a deep breath in. With your next exhale, lift the foot toward the forehead just as far as feels okay. Doesn't have to get anywhere close to it. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now you can keep the the foot in the palm of the hand. You could bring it to the forearm or into the crease of the elbow. Right arm comes on the outside of the leg. You could take hold of the leg here or wrap it into the elbow, interlacing the fingers if that feels okay. So holding on wherever feels good, and then gently rocking, lubricating the hip, and gently regulating ourselves by rocking that brain stem. And then gently hugging the leg in toward the torso just as far as feels okay. And gently lowering the leg down. Just take a moment to notice how the right and the left feel the same or different. And when you're ready, we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh, right palm on the left sole of the foot, interlacing the fingers and toes. And then making some gentle circles with the ankle. And reversing the circles. And we'll unlace the fingers and wrap them underneath the outside of the foot. Left hand comes underneath the left ankle. Inhale, lifting the spine tall. As you exhale, lift the foot toward the forehead just as far as feels okay. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Then we'll either keep the foot in the palm of the hand, bring it to the forearm or into the crease of the elbow. Left arm comes on the outside of the leg, either holding at the knee or interlacing the fingers if that feels okay. We'll gently rock, lubricating the hip. And then we'll hug the leg in toward the torso just as far as feels okay. And then gently lower down. Let's come onto our hands and knees. And if you'd like to add any extra padding underneath the knees, please add that blanket underneath. We'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Soften the elbows so the inner elbows are facing each other. Shoulder blades tuck down the back, head extends out from the spine. Belly muscles draw up toward the back. Take a deep breath in and out. And with your next inhale, let's lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting. Spine follows. Exhale, rounding. And with your next inhaling breath, come back to table pose. Again, drawing those shoulder blades back. Take a breath in and out. With your next inhale, let's sweep the right arm up toward the side. And as you exhale, we'll thread the needle, bringing that right arm underneath, resting the right shoulder onto the mat, right side of the head rests down as well. You can keep the right hand the left hand where it is if you would like for a little support, or you can kind of soften it and allow the weight to come into the shoulder a little bit more. It just depends on what feels right for you today. Then I'm going to encourage you to gently pull away from the right arm. So pulling the body away, feeling some of that stretch through the shoulder. You can also kind of think about pressing the hip back away from it. You can keep the hand here, or if it feels okay, you can lift it up toward the sky. You could bring the hand to the right hip, or you could also drop the arm over the ear, coming onto the fingertips. So finding a position that feels good for you. Take a few breaths, creating a little traction again by pulling away from the right arm. Stretching around the scapula. We'll bring the right hand back to the mat, pressing into it, gently lifting up. Sweep the arm up. Oh, did I say the wrong hand? I probably did, sorry. And then hands down. I'm really mixing up my left and rights today. Coming back to neutral, just kind of noticing the difference between the right and the left shoulders. With your next inhale, we'll sweep the left arm up. And exhale, thread underneath the right arm, bringing the left shoulder down, left side of the head to the mat. Again, having some of the weight on the right hand if that feels better for your neck and shoulder, or allowing some of the weight to shift into that left shoulder. We'll gently pull the body away from the left arm. Press back through the left hip. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, could either bring the right arm up toward the sky, bring the right hand back by the left hip, Or drop the arm over the ear, coming onto the fingertips. Pulling gently away from that left arm, creating space around the scapula. And then we'll bring the right hand back to the mat. Pressing into it, inhale, sweep the left arm up. And bringing the hand back underneath the shoulders, taking a breath in and out, noticing how they feel. Take one small cat-cow. And come back to center. Softening those elbows. Let's inhale the right leg back, lifting it up behind us, keeping the hips parallel. And lower it back down. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, lower it. Inhale, lift the left leg. Again, keeping those hips parallel. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now with your next inhale, we're going to lift the right knee out to the side and then bring it around to the back and exhale the knee back to the floor. Again, inhale, lift the right knee out to the side, bring it around and exhale back to the floor. Now the left, inhale out to the side, bring it around and lower the knee down. Inhale, lift the left leg to the side, bring it around and lower the knee down. Let's inhale, reaching the right leg straight back. Exhale the knee down. Inhale the right leg out to the side, wrap it around and bring it down. Inhale the left leg straight out behind us. Exhale, bring the knee down. Inhale the left knee out to the side, wrap it around and bring the knee down. Let's tuck the toes under, gently sitting back onto the heels as much as feels okay for your knees. You can stay in a more kneeling position if that feels better for you. Just kind of take a moment to notice how your hips are feeling and stretch the bottom of our feet a little as well. And let's come forward and we'll lower all the way onto our bellies. Bring our hands underneath the shoulders. We'll rest the forehead or chin on the mat. Let's start with the toes or the legs zipped together so the feet are touching. Press the pelvic bone down into the mat. We'll work a little bit with cobra and then we'll add some variations. So with your next inhaling breath, let's lift the head and chest gently, just a little baby cobra warming up the back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now let's bring the hands a little bit wider. Move some of my stuff here. So just on the outside of the mat. So we're not going to put a lot of pressure in them, but just kind of seeing how that feels a little different with the shoulders and the back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now let's spread our legs a little wider. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. This time, as you inhale, we'll lift the right leg as well. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the left leg and the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the right leg with the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the left leg with the chest. Exhale, lower. Let's bring the feet back together. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale, lower. This time, if it feels okay, let's lift both legs. Otherwise, leave them on the floor. Inhale, lift both legs and the head and chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay. Tucking the shoulders, lengthening through the neck, reaching back through the feet. Pelvic bone is rooting you down. And with your next exhale, gently lower. Take a breath in and out. Let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll press our hips back into or up into table pose. Bringing those knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. Just give some gentle cat-cows. Allowing the back to begin to round a little more after all that work. And then if it feels okay, you can drop the hips into child's pose. You could also, if it feels better for your knees, try bringing a blanket underneath the knees or even a bolster and sitting back here. Or again, you can also come into reclined puppy with the hips stacked over the knees. So finding that position that feels supportive for you, allowing the forehead to be resting on the mat to release the neck muscles. And breathing into the spine. One more breath. And with your next inhale, let's come back onto the hands and knees. You can remove any supports you had behind you. And we'll tuck the toes under. We'll press the hips up and back into downward dog. Softening the knees, reaching back through the hips. Pressing the pointer and thumb into the mat, allowing the palm of the hand to gently lift. Pressing through the toes, reaching high through the hips. Head is between the arms with the chin gently away from the chest. And let's gently roll those shoulder blades back toward each other. As it feels okay, you can begin to float your heels down toward the mat. You can do one at a time or both at the same time, whichever feels right for your body right now. Rooting through the hands and the feet, lifting through the hips as you lengthen through the spine. And let's gently bring the knees back to the mat. And let's step forward with our right foot. Walking those toes forward far enough so that we can drop into a lunge and have that knee stacked over the ankle. Want to make sure that the the foot and the knee are at least hip width apart to provide that nice stable base for you. If you'd like to add some blocks underneath your hands, you can. You can keep the hands on the floor or again, come up with the hands on the knee. Let's think about rooting into that front foot. Softening through the hip for the front of the left hip. And now think about drawing that left heel and the left, sorry, I just don't know my directions today, right heel and the left knee toward each other, just energetically, kind of drawing that isometrically in. You can feel the inner groin muscles engage. And then soften that. You can shift up a little bit so that we're not in that stretch as much. If it feels okay for your shoulders, inhale the arms up over the head, staying rooted into the foot and the knee. As you exhale, open to the side, warrior two arms. Inhale, come back, focused warrior one arms. Exhale, open to the side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, open to the side. Inhale back to the center. Let's drop the hands down to the mat or blocks. Rock that right hip back, lengthen through the spine, pressing the hip back. Sometimes it wants to swing out to the side, so having that tucked under and stretching straight back. And if it feels okay, we'll lift the toes, allowing that stretch to come down to our calves. We'll bring the right foot back to the mat, and we're gonna walk it across to the left side of the mat, dropping the hip down. We'll come into sleeping pigeon. If this is too much for your knees or hips today, you can come into the supine cross four instead. If you would like a block or blanket underneath that right hip for support, please add that. Okay, bring our hands in front of the legs, coming onto the fingertips. Press into the top of the back foot if you are upright, and into that right knee, lengthening through the spine, shoulders back and down. And then gently fold over, lengthening the spine, coming onto forearms or bringing the forehead to the hands. If you're in the supine cross forward, gently drawing the left knee toward or left leg toward the torso. And everyone breathing into the right hip. Gently letting go and softening. With your next inhale, press into the hands. We'll gently turn to the left, opening up the hips. We'll come into Janusirasana, so alternate leg stretch. So if you're on your back, you can come up to sitting, right leg bent, left leg extended. And let's start with kind of opening up the side of our body. So left hand on the right knee. Inhale the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, we'll bring that left shoulder toward the left leg. Lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. And let's bring that right elbow back and then reach it out again. We'll tuck in that shoulder blade, your elbow comes down, and then reach the arm. And once more, tuck in that elbow and reach the arm. And we'll inhale, lifting up tall. And let's turn to face the left leg, flexing the foot. So I notice naturally mine likes to fall out to the side. Some people's may fall into the middle or come up straight, but what we want to do is have the knee up straight and the toes up toward the sky. Lifting the spine tall, hands on either side of the legs will hinge at the hips, gently coming forward, just as far as feels okay. Lengthening through the spine, pressing back through that left hip, reaching the heel away. Lengthening and softening through each breath. And with your next inhale, we'll lift up tall. Let's bring the right hand a few inches away from the right hip. You can stay with the hips down, inhaling the left arm over the ear, opening the side of the body. Or if it feels okay to come into the full crescent, you can come onto the knee and wrist. And then we'll gently lower down. Bringing our hands onto the mat. Left toe tucks under, we'll step back into downward dog. Softening through the hips. Reaching the heels down. Take one more breath. And then we'll bring the knees back to the mat. And we'll step forward with the left foot. Again, having the knee or the feet and knee placed wide enough apart so that you feel stable. Left knee stacked over the left ankle. You can keep the hands on the floor or blocks or bring the hands up to the knee. You're going to root into the left foot and then soften through the front of the right hip. Letting that just drop straight down. Releasing that iliopsoas. Now we're going to press into that front heel and gently energetically kind of draw the knee, this right knee and the left heel toward each other. Engaging those inner quad muscles, strengthening those, that isometric hold. And gently release that. We'll shift the hip up a little bit more so the right hip is stacked a little more closely over the knee. Pressing into that left foot. We'll inhale the arms up over our head. And as you exhale, open to the right, warrior two arms. Inhale to the center. Exhale, warrior two arms. You can feel those hips shifting as you twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, open. Inhale, center. Let's float the hands down, rock the left hip back. Hands can be on the floor or block, lengthening the spine. stay here or lift the toes, feeling that stretch come down through the calf. Bringing the foot back to the mat, we'll walk the foot across to the right side of the mat, dropping the knee down, coming into sleeping pigeon, or coming into the supine cross 4, if that feels better for you today. Again, supporting that left hip with a blanket or block if it feels like it's kind of hanging in the air today. And the foot can be at whatever angle works for you. It can be closer to a 90-degree angle or closer to the hip or anywhere in between. Bringing the hands to the fingertips, press into the top of the back foot. Lift the spine tall, shoulders are back and down. And then lengthening the spine, exhale over the leg. Coming onto forearms or bringing the forehead to the hands. Can also rest on the block. If you are in supine cross 4, gently drawing that right knee toward the body. Everyone breathing into the left hip. Gently pressing into the hands. And then we'll roll, opening up to the right so that you come into Janusarasana. So if you're on the floor, you'll go ahead and sit up. And I'm going to turn around so that I'm not having my back to you. Yeah, so left leg bent, right leg extended out. We'll start with the right hand on the left knee. Inhaling the left arm up by the ear. And exhale, reaching that right shoulder toward the right leg, just as far as feels okay. Lengthening through those fingertips with an inhale. Exhale, draw that elbow down, tucking the shoulder blade. Inhale, reach the fingertips. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tuck. Last reach. And then we'll inhale up tall. Exhale, floating the hand down. And we'll turn to face the right leg. Knee and toes pointing up toward the sky. Hands on either side of the leg. Lengthening the spine tall. And we'll hinge at the hips. Gently walking out as far as feels okay over the leg. Reaching through the heel, pressing back through the hip. Lengthening through the spine. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll bring the left hand a few inches from the left hip. And again, we can inhale the right arm up by the ear, reaching over, opening that right side of the body, or if it feels okay, coming onto the palm and the knee and reaching into full crescent. And we'll gently lower back down. Well, let's open both legs up just as far as it feels comfortable and wide leg forward bend. Again, toes pointing up toward the sky. We'll place the hands in the center. Hinging at the hips. And again, if you feel like your pelvis is kind of rolling back here, grab the blanket. Now that our legs are all ready, grab the blanket, tuck it under, and kind of sit on that edge. So it helps the pelvis to tilt forward and allows you to get more space in the pose. So blanket or pillow under the hips would be great. Knees and toes pointing up toward the sky. Again, hands in the center. And when you're ready, just beginning to walk the hands forward, keeping the spine nice and long. As though your hips were the hinge of a door, keeping that spine nice and flat. Breathing into the inner groin. If this is too intense on your legs, you can also bend the knees a little bit if that feels better for the back of your legs. Continuing to lengthen and soften through the breath. Sometimes when you get down a little farther, it feels good to just kind of lift those heels, reaching them out a little more. One more breath. And on your next inhale, we'll walk the hands back toward the torso. Let's bring the knees together. Just gently hug them in, round the spine, drop the chin. And then we'll come back to the seated position. Again, you could stay on the blanket if you'd like. Lengthening the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. With your next inhale, reach to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Tuck the right shoulder back and down, breathing into the left side of the neck. If it feels okay, you could bring the left hand to the mat, gently walking the fingertips away just as far as feels okay. And extending through the neck. And with your next inhale, come back to the center, bring the hand back to the leg. Exhale, left ear over the left shoulder, tucking that left shoulder back and down, breathing to the right side of the neck, keeping the heart lifted. And if it feels okay, you could bring the right hand to the mat, walking the fingertips away, just as far as feels okay. Lengthening and releasing through the right side of the neck. With your next inhale, come back to center, bringing the hand back. As you exhale, turn the chin over the right shoulder. Hold and breathe, shoulders are back and down, heart lifted. With your next inhale, let's drop the chin toward that right shoulder and then sweep it across to the left. As you exhale, hold and breathe, looking over the left shoulders, shoulders back and down, heart lifted. And with your next Inhale, drop the chin toward the left shoulder. Come back to the center. Let the breath go as the head hangs down, keeping the shoulders back and down as you breathe into the back of the neck. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And let the breath go. Let's come onto the center of the mat. The knees bent in front of us. And then let's take hold behind the knees, round the spine, belly strong, and gently roll back using the abdominal muscles. Lengthen through the neck, shoulders tuck under. Let's stack the feet underneath the knees about hip width apart, spreading those toes wide. Press the shoulders back and down. Let's inhale, scooping the pelvis, rolling the spine up into bridge pose. Keeping the vision facing the sky. Exhale, gently roll the spine down. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, roll the spine down. I want you to bring your arms up toward the sky. We'll interlace the fingers and gently drop the shoulders back to the mat. Keeping the arms here, inhale, scoop and lift, rolling the spine up. When you're at the top, press the fingers up toward the sky so the shoulders are lifting up gently, and then roll the spine down with the exhale. Drop the shoulders back to the mat. Inhale, scoop and lift. Press the fingers up toward the sky. Exhale, roll the spine down. Drop the shoulders back to the floor. Inhale, scoop and lift. Pressing the hands up toward the sky. Exhale, roll down. We'll do that one more time, dropping the shoulders. Inhale, scoop and lift. Pressing the hands up toward the sky. Exhale, roll down. And you can float the hands down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, pressing the low back into the mat. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. And let the breath go. Let's lift the feet up toward the sky. You can rock your hands or a block underneath the hips. Lengthening through the neck, softening through the ankles and knees. Breathing into the belly. My ankles are wanting some circles, so if yours are wanting those, you can make those as well. And we'll bend the knees, rocking the hands or block out from underneath the hips. Can hug the knees in toward the torso in Apanasana. You could rock a little from side to side. You could also make small circles with the low back. And if you're making circles, reverse those. And coming back to the center, we'll bring the arms out at shoulder height, palms facing down, working with one last twist if that feels okay. Knees together, we'll gently drop the knees to the right, vision to the left. Breathing into the spine, gently letting go. With your next inhaling breath, lift the knees back to the center. And as you exhale, drop to the left, vision to the right. Release through the spine and breathe. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. Lower the feet down. You could either walk the feet out, resting the knees together, or lower the legs down into Shavasana. If you'd like a bolster or a blanket underneath the knees to support and ease the low back a little, please add that. It's also helpful to cover a little bit just to keep the heat in the body, even though it is warm outside. Tucking the shoulders under. If your legs are extended, allow the feet to be hip width apart. Arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. As we move through Shavasana, I will send some Reiki to each of you. If you would like to receive that, just allow yourself to be open to it. And if not, it will just return to the earth. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Bring your awareness back to the breath. Allow each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allow each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Notice anywhere in the body you may still be holding on. And gently release the muscles from the bones, surrendering them to the earth, feeling its strength and support beneath you. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself, sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body, honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our community, for ourselves. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today. Taking some time to care for yourself